Hello everyone, welcome to Learning Techniques, and this is your host Hemant Gangwar. So today we are going to learn EC2 deployment by Terraform. So exactly what's new in this video, why we want to learn EC2 deployment when there are a lot of videos or blogs over the internet. So the main approach of deploying this is to overcome certain issues which a general system admin face during deployment. So the key issues that you can face are, the number one is the key pair issue. So you must have encountered a situation when you forgot to give a key pair or you gave a wrong key pair, and after that it would be a mess. Sometimes you have to redeploy the machine. Second thing is, everyone or every organization do not want to use the standard ec2-user, which AWS used to deploy with the general centralized user, which AWS provides. The name can be vary from distros to distros. The third thing is, I just don't want every time to copy the key, make the private key pair and the public key pair things, and then do the login. I simply want one of my jump box keys to be present, and I can simply SSH using those keys. And the last thing can be your cost. For example, if you want to deploy any machine with your custom configuration, for example, you don't want to log in every time and deploy something new, like deploying a cron job or creating a user or setting up a simple website. You can use the things, but the thing is, one way can for that can be an AMI, that you just deploy a machine, make your changes, create a custom AMI, and store it inside your S3. But that could be that will not be a very cost effective method. The more snapshots you create or more AMIs you create, the more you will be paying to AWS, and accordingly your cost will also increase. Well, there are different methods given by AWS to overcome these things, that you can use a launch template if you're using a load balancer, or the one thing which we discussed, like create your custom AMI and store it and deploy it for the purposes. And one way can be if you can write your custom Lambda function to deploy the things as per your choice. And one way which we are going to discuss is the user data thing, which AWS used to provide for the deployment. It's not about which technique is better. It's like we are going to describe how we can achieve our purpose through the user way. So let's proceed. So this is my Linux machine, which will act as a Terraform node and as well as a centralized node. So for the code purpose, let me just pull the code from the website. So the link of this web page I'll give, GitHub page I'll give in the note section, as well as you can find it in the blog as well. Just simply copy that code and reach out to your Linux machine or any machine which you want to use. Let's move to temp and just do a git clone over that. So we can just simply download the code. Now the code is downloaded. Let's move inside. Here you can find two directories. For this lab, we are using the second one, that's the custom EC2 deployment using the user data function. It contains several files which we will discuss later, but in order to proceed with Terraform, let's first initialize this directory. So for that, we'll go give a command terraform init. It may take few minutes depending on a provider. It's like pulling the exact plugins from the HashiCorp AWS. Okay, so once my directory would be initialized, you'll get some message like this, that it has been successfully initialized. And how you can check that, just find a hidden directory with name Terraform, where you can find the plugin of your choice. So you can see it contains an AWS plugin, which is pulled and deployed over here so that we can run with our code. So now it's initialized. So first learn exactly what we have written in the code. So it contains several directories. The main directory over here is instance.tf. So the first thing before that, let's go to providers.tf. So it will show you exactly which providers we are going to deal with. So here we're going to deal with hash of AWS provider. And this is a simple variable which will define in which region my EC2 will be deployed. So let's proceed with the main code. So it's a small code. It's a simple TF file in which you can write your code. We are using a simple resource of AWS instance. It's the name of your instance. It is not the name which will be printed on EC2, but it will be the name which Terraform will use to refer this resource. Then AMI name, it's again a variable. I'll show you exactly where it is written. So it's a simple variable where it substitute the value of the AMI. You can, once you want to change, you use any other AMI, just change the name over there rather than hard coding over here. Then the instance type, so I'm using t2.micro, which as per my reason is a free tag. Then the availability zone or the data center in which I want to deploy my EC2. Key name, this key name is already present in my EC2 site, so I'm using that. You have to replace with your key name. If you deploy with this key name, you might have to redeploy the machines, else you won't be able to log in. And after that, the tags name. This is the name which will be printed when the EC2 will be deployed. I intentionally missed this line. This is the main magic code which we are using to create a custom configuration, which will overcome all the issues which we noticed earlier. So this is a user data field. By the way, this AWS used to provide, you can deploy the code of your choice. So I'm using a simple function file and I'm telling Terraform to pick all the configurations you want to deploy from this file. So let's open the simple script and see what it is trying to say. So this is a simple bash script which I have written. Here we are deploying some Apache level commands, then starting the web service, then writing a simple one-liner code so that it will be available on our website, then adding a test user, then providing pseudo privileges to the test user, creating its directory structure, and copy pasting our key. This is a simple cron job which we're using. You can use just for variation. Then this is the public key which I'm using to log in the EC2 instance. So in your case, you have to paste the public key of your centralized server. Then just modifying the permissions and giving the correct ownership. After that, the third file will be my vars.tf. So let's see exactly what it is providing to me. As discussed, the default region it's providing me as AP South 1, which is the Mumbai region. Then the instance name, though it's hard coded, if it was not, then this variable can provide the name of the EC2 instance and the AMI value, which is a string value. If you want to use any other AMI, just replace the value over here. So then the last piece remained is my out. There is a simple Terraform file which will make sure what output will be displayed once my VM will be created or EC2 will be created. So it will display the public IP of my EC2 instance. So I don't have to go to the AWS console and pick the public IPs. So that's all in this code. So let's deploy this code. So in order to deploy a code, you don't have to do anything more. Just do a Terraform apply. Or if you're new to Terraform and you're not sure exactly what a deployment is going to do, just simply do a Terraform plan. It will show you exactly what this code is going to write. Okay, so it's showing you that it's going to perform a create action. Then one EC2 instance will be created with the AMI name this, availability zone this, and other different values. The name of the EC2 will be Terraform def Linux, and the other values known after apply means once your EC2 will be deployed, these values will be filled. So it's only performing one function, and this IP, though the EC2, since the EC2 is not created yet, thus this value has no relevance as of now. But once our EC2 will be deployed, it will display a value that with this IP, your EC2 is created. So in order to you deploy that, you can use Terraform apply. If you don't want to give a manual yes or no, you can also give an option auto-approve, and it will consider your approval as yes. So now it's deploying my EC2 instance. At every step it will show you the time, exactly how much time it will take to deploy the instance. So we can see an EC2 resource is created with IP address, public IP address this, and we will use this public IP address to access our machine. So let's move to our jump box from where you want to access the server. This is a jump box. The key of the Ansible test user only from this server only we have copied and pasted, which we showed you in the user data section. So one way to access this machine is using our traditional approach, that we have to give the key name, and then the public IP of your machine. It's created and it's responding to SSH. So one way is this, that you can see your machine is deployed to the correct settings or not. The other way around is if you don't want to use the ec2-user, since we already created one centralized user with the user data section, so we can use that as well. Let me just copy the IP address again in case we have not done that, and switch. So by this way, we have bypassed our requirement of a centralized user and a key pair. Sorry, of the default user and the key pair. So in order to see if our website is deployed fine or not, just do a call localhost. It's deployed fine. We can also check if our cron job is deployed. So it's deployed fine. Now this is the way where we tested when a machine is deployed with a key pair. Now let's check one other scenario where one forgot to provide the key pair option. That happened. There's a very common thing, and it happens with most of the people. So let's first destroy what we have created. The command will be same. Just apply will be deployed by destroy. Destroy is, in short, a special type of apply which will undo the things what you have done. Okay, so it's destroyed now. So let's remove the key name from here and then try to deploy an instance. So it will again take few minutes to deploy the machine. So the machine is created. Just one thing, if you're not good with Terraform and you're good with AWS and you want to use simple AWS CLI to deploy the things, we can do that as well. So just let's copy the script which we're going to use for our custom user data, then go to the AWS CLI web page and then launch an instance. You can choose the AMI of your choice. Now, you're not binded, you can use any. Then if you scroll down on this instance details, you can see there's an option of user data. So you can provide your optional user data over here. You can paste it over here, whatever you want to deploy the custom, and then you can review and launch later. So just let's create the custom configs so that. Okay, so now here it'll ask you for key pair. This key pair I've already created, so I'm using that only. You can use your key pair of your choice. So it may take a few minutes to deploy. So now it's in pending state. It can take a few minutes. So meantime, let's try to access our EC2, which we created without a key pair. So that was the IP of my server. Let's go to the centralized server again and simply use our common user. So we can see that it's deployed fine. The website is listening fine. So let's pick its IP and see if the website is accessible through browser. And yes, the website also deployed fine. So even if you don't have a key pair, we can also check this thing from this CLI thing only, if the key pair is generated or not. Let's go to the instance details, and you can see there is no key pair attached to the EC2. So in this way, even if you don't have a key pair, your machine will be deployed fine. So let's wait and check the other manual machine as well, which we deployed through the manual commands. As of now, it's initializing. So let it initialize, and in the meantime, let's destroy what we have created. It's always a good practice that you should clean up before leaving what you have created. So let's go to our Terraform node again and run the simple command again, Terraform destroy. So meantime it's destroying, we can also see the status of this particular EC2 on the CLI. So this is the one which we have created through Terraform. Let's perform a refresh. We can see it's shutting down and it will be terminated in a few minutes. So meantime, our manual EC2 is created, so we can pick its public IP address and see. User data may take some minutes to deploy. So, okay, anyways, it's fine. It's accessible and deployed. Since it has a different key pair, again, we can access through a jump box because we have provided the same settings to and the same public key. So that won't be a problem for us. So yes, it's deployed fine and it's accessible to us. So that was something which I want to show you. Apart from a normal EC2 creation, you can use this thing to deploy your machines, and you don't have to pay. Maybe we saw the wrong, we are still on the wrong screen. My bad. So just again, let me show you what I have done. So this is the centralized server, and from here I pasted the same key and deployed again. So this is something which I want to show you as an extra knowledge apart from a normal EC2 deployment. So if you like my work and if you learned anything new from this, I would suggest please do share with your friends, write your experience in the comment section. That would be much helpful for us. And that's all from my end. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. Thank you very much.